First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash.
the bonus to the elder apostles, Greg Millstone, who were well. And salutation, much love you, Akim out there, pushing out his word and truth and sincerity. Brothers from GmsTampa, Tampa, back with another live lesson. Lord's will is edifying to the hopeful elect. We're just going to go in the spirit, and Lord's will is edifying. But let's start with going in on Esau. Since thou has not hated blood, with Ezekiel. Because Esau, I don't know, I think you see it. I sent it last night, that picture. Oh, I'll put it on the thumbnail later on. But it was a picture I put.
35
that, yeah, it was pretty much. It says waiting on your house. I was a gift from a brother.
Oh,
and, and I had the red lights, in the background. So and the brother was like, "That's the blood of Esau." So I'll put it on the camera real quick. Because when them chariots arrive, that's what is gonna be required, man. That blood, Edom. So we waiting on Yahushua, and we know that when he returns, he's coming to exact judgment from those that have been shedding our blood. Because somebody hold down that blood. Him that shed of blood, his blood got to be shed. Hold that as well. But go ahead, whoever got that first one.
Ezekiel 35, I'll start at verse 3. And say unto it, I'll start at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir. And Mount Seir is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, for those of you that don't know. It says, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee. I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And this is a perpetual hatred that goes back even further than Esau and Jacob, man. This goes back to Abel and Cain, or Cain and Abel, however you want to say it. That hatred,
good and evil.
Right? Yep. Exactly. That fight between good and evil,
light and darkness.
Yep.
That's what the Lord created. Polar opposites for everything. You have light, you have darkness, good, evil, hot, cold, so on and so forth. And then you have that neutral, which is because the Lord created the sons of the God, the Most High, the sons of the wicked, and then that neutral is the sons of man. But you always there's always polar opposites, man, and that goes back prior to, like brother said, Jacob and Esau.
Verse 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. And this is how you know it's talking about Esau, Edom. Another way you can tell it's talking about Esau, Edom, because who was given the blessing of the sword? Okay? It says, by the force of the sword, in Revelation chapter 6, verse 4, that red horse had the power of the sword, man, to bring destruction upon the earth. Okay?
Take peace from the earth.
Yeah. It said, in the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity had an end. And that time of our calamity was during all the times of our captivities, including this last captivity that he had the hand over us. Not only did he have the dominion over us, okay, as the prophecy said, but he took it way beyond what it was, what needed to be done, man. He buck breaking, doing all types of shit, man. Abominations. All right. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood. And guess what? The Heavenly Father is what's it called? He's the everlasting, man. So it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. And that blood is going to pursue thee forever, man. It's been pursuing thee forever from the beginning. Okay? Because you already had it, that vessel preordained to shed blood. Okay? And it's not going to stop until your blood is shed, like the brother mentioned, and brothers got on deck. Because that ultimate blood shedding of Esau is going to happen after 1,000 years after that captivity, man, that he's going to serve. It says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And this you can tie this in with Cain, because he was a vagabond upon the earth, man. He was running from that justice, okay, and he was afraid of people chasing him. Well, you was worried about the wrong thing chasing you, because this blood was chasing you. The blood that was on your hands is what was right behind your ass, man, accounting for everything that you was doing. And then now that blood has mounted up so high that now is running over, okay, and then primarily the blood of the Israelites, as we're going into. It says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth." But that was the point on that. If my brother wants to get that other one, the Numbers.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. Numbers 35 and 33. "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land."
And Esau has polluted the whole earth by shedding blood because through his sword. You know, especially here in America and even our real homeland. But hey, America, man, this is where we were. Esau got a hold of us as 12 tribes together, because when the Babylonians came in, they were talking about raise it. That was only the southern kingdom for the majority. You know, there was scattering of the northern kingdom, but now he got us as a whole, and he shed the blood in the Americas of our people, man. You want to say something?
Yeah, real quick, if I can just interject with this precept, because it's perfect. Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked and behold, a pale horse, and his name sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, ultimately 4 parts, the whole earth, to kill with the sword, as a brother mentioned, and with hunger. All right, and with hunger, that's one of Esau's tactics of war as well. What's one of his swords, because this famine that's being created right now, it's a manufactured famine. All right, it says, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. All right, so that pale horse, it says to basically kill with the sword. All right, that was given unto him. All right, or that's how he took control over the 4 parts of the earth, so to say. You know.
Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it."
Yeah, so that's why Esau's blood, is going to be shed, when the Lord returns. And that his kingdom's going to go down, and his blood's going to be shed to cleanse the land, Yeah, that's not going to be all. Of course, 2/3 of our people are going to die. But hey, the judgment, the Lord is coming, but he got a vengeance against Edom, He got a controversy against Edom as well. Not only does the Lord have a controversy against 2/3 of our people, but the Lord got a controversy of the wicked. He coming back to put an end to the wicked, man. It's enough. You've done your job. Now it's time to put you in subjection and then get rid of you. But the Lord their blood has to be shed through and Esau is going to be his own weapons against him. And the Lord said he coming to bring a sword, so he here it is. Esau he's betting on his blessing, but the Lord's going to turn it on him, turn the tables on his ass.
I'll continue on about chapter 2 precepts, Revelation 6. It says, when he had, Revelation 6 and 9, it says, when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So basically validating the blood cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. All right, so the Lord is going to come back, and the only way to avenge our blood is he has to shed their blood. All right.
Because everything is not everything, but a lot of things are cemented by the blood. So like we got the new covenant through the blood of Yahushua. Well, guess what? Esau, now his blood's got to be shed, man. Because when they were the Romans were in charge when Yahushua's blood was shed. Well, guess what? They're gonna be in charge when the Lord returns, and their blood's about to be shed. Not saying that their blood's gonna be of any significance as far as like a covenant or anything, but their blood has to be shed for the cleansing. Because they've shed so much blood. It's ridiculous. No nation under under the sun has ever shed the amount of blood this devil has. This nigga just drop a bomb and kill what it would took decades to kill back in the ancient world, you know. 300,000 or well, however many people died in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, thousands and thousands of people in a matter of minutes, you know, and throughout the manifestation, what to say, manifest destiny, or well, shit, you can go, what, Hellenization, from Hellenization to colonization, they've been shedding blood through all that. Hellenization going back to the Greeks, and colonization going into when the beast was revived again. Same shit. They did the same shit, just under a different name and new gods. But it was same. It's just different names. You know what I'm saying? Hellenization was under the Greeks. You know, they went around Hellenizing the people, putting them under the Greek customs. And then colonization was Christopher Columbus sailed the Blue Sea. You know, and they started colonizing Americas. Well, they did the same shit though. The same is that's how you know it's the same devil. The Greeks were the same people that did the colonization, man. And it even sounds similar, Hellenization and colonization. You know, and to the point where they brought in Manifest Destiny, where they kept pushing west. And what that meant was they're conquering and shedding blood. Even the animals, you know, they would stack up buffaloes as far as I could see, you know, at the price of who? The Israelites. But they weren't just killing the buffaloes for fun. They were killing them because they knew that's what the Gad was eating. And, you know, so devil got to pay, man. There's a lot of blood crying out until the Yahweh Bashim outside that this man has shed.
This quick one is Zechariah chapter 2, starting verse 7, point is 8. Zechariah 2, verse 7, it says, "Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon." Is going to prophecy is being so-called America. But in verse 8, it says, "For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye." You know, and the apple of your eye is pretty much going to what's precious unto you. You know, it's going to a specific, you know, the pupil. All right, something that you're focused on, the pupil's looking at. Okay, and you've got the eyes as a shadow, not a shadow is a reflection. You know, so it goes into how the Lord's always beholding his people. You know, his eyes upon his people. Again, going to so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You know, so that's why, as what you just said, he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye. You know, and remember what the Lord did for his people. It's good to see looking at this. You know, picture here. Look what he did for us. You know, for us to be delivered. It said to remove kings in the book of Psalms. He removed kings for our sake. You know, so imagine what the Lord's going to do to this devil. You know, for what he did unto us, man. It's still to this day. You know.
I got something real quick. A few precepts. Obadiah 1, and at the top here in the blue letter, it says the day. In the KJV, it says the day of the Lord. Most high, that is all caps. The day of the Lord in the future. And in the NLT, it says Edom destroyed, Israel restored. Obadiah 1 and 15, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is upon all the heathen. All right, so there it is. It says all the heathen. All right, but in the NLT, it specifically points out Edom destruction. All right, it says, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashim is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. All right, so like the brothers was going into, that blood has to be shed pursuing this scripture. This is the future of the so-called white race, man, the Hebrew Edomites. All right, verse 16, it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, Israel, so shall all the heathen drink continually. All right, and that's why in Isaiah the 60th chapter, it says, continue, thy door shall be open continually, roughly paraphrasing. Why? Because you other nations starting off with Esau, Edom, you have a perpetual slavery that's coming, man. Since you have not hated blood, you have not hated persecuting Israel, Jake continually, have not put your foot off the neck of the Hebrew Israelite man. You see, so in the kingdom of heaven, until you are eradicated off the face of the earth, you're going to continually, all right, be in slavery, man. All right. Continuing on, it says, yea, they shall drink all they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. All right, so what the Lord is getting ready to do is overturn these curses. Deuteronomy 30th chapter, the 7th verse. All right, and the deliverance out of Zion is going to be the elect, and you're going back to the base of man. All right.
And it said, upon them they shall drink continually, perpetual waste. He said, but upon Zion shall there be deliverance. So not one Edomite gonna be delivered. The scripture just said it.
No man shall bind.
Exactly.
That Deuteronomy 30 and 7.
That's right.
Tables being turned.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, Don.
That was it.
Alright. I got a quick, what the brother had went into earlier, a quick point going into, you know, the bombing of Japan, of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I just want to bring this quick point. I didn't want to cut him off earlier. But it says Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all right, the ones that died were 66,000, and Nagasaki was 39,000.
So about 100,000 people in an instant.
Yeah.
In a matter of seconds died.
Fried.
Yeah. And that's not including the people that died later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, Wormwood.
Yeah, exactly. And the cause of it was mostly what? The burns, and then after it says falling debris.
Yeah, and they're not even including the niggas that just died instantly. They're saying the fallout, the debris. What about the niggas that instantly perished?
That's what I'm saying.
Turn into a shadow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Them can't even be accounted for.
Yep.
So guess what? Hey, how about Shem Shah going to bring this recompense upon Esau Edom? I want to bring this point out too in Amos 1, since we were talking about going into pursuing the blood and how it's going to pursue him. This is Amos 1 in verse 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did not pursue his brother, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever." All right, as the brother Mayim had mentioned earlier, going into the book of Genesis, all right, going all the way back to the beginning, all right, from Cain and Abel, all right, it's been a continuous a stroke, all right, upon, all right, the righteous, all right. You see, in these last days, he still got that whip upon us, all right. It says, "But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra." All right, it's going to these chief cities, these chief places, all right, of Esau Edom. All right, the Lord's getting ready to send a fire, all right, upon these places, and mainly here in America, Babylon the Great. That's why the scriptures talk about the destruction. All right, that's going to be so vast that's going to come and destroy this place, what, within 1 hour. All right, you see how he has been going around these different countries, bombing them. He's been going over there to Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, how he was able to knock out so many people. But guess how much the Lord's getting ready to wipe out in that day when, all right, when these missiles come and drop over here in Babylon the Great. All right, it's going to be a great slaying, a great fall, all right, of many Edomites. Okay, in these last days. That's it.
This is Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21. "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked." The and that's what's going to happen, man. Is this cup that Esau's been passing to these other nations, that he's drunken and been able to. Basically, it's been what's the word? Anesthesia that he's been giving these nations, man. So that here it is, he's poking and jabbing and cutting these people up, you know, making incisions in you, bleeding out.
Make you numb.
You don't even feel it.
Make you numb to the reality.
Right. Yep.
So he can deceive you more easily. You know, that's what the bread and circus is all about. You know, that's what deception is all about. So you don't really feel nothing. Oh, the bank shut down. All right, whatever. Niggas still out partying, they don't see what's going on. Niggas invaded the country, whatever. They're numb to reality. And that's through the philosophies of this world, man. Which is party it up. Like we was watching the Fresh and Fit earlier. That's the spirit of the world. It's not just these women. I mean, the women are the most delusional, but that's the spirit of the world. You know, just carefree, don't care. You know, they're not living in reality. And that's what America has pushed to the four corners of the earth, to the point where we said this earlier, the people in the Middle East and Far East are going under these same philosophies now. That's how bad it's gotten to where people were in countries where you get stoned to death for doing these things that is okay in America. Now it's slowly but surely being integrated into their society, man. And then in the name of freedom and liberation, America come in there and back it up. That's why that wine has been so far reached because America come in to back it up. You know, hey, once a couple people start drinking that wine, here come that whore to reinforce it. You know, with their blessing, with Esau's blessing, the sword. You know, in the name of democracy, which is part of the image of the beast. Go ahead.
Says, let me go back to verse 17. Lamentations 4:17. It says, "As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain hope, or for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come." And this is what's happened on to the majority of you jakes, primarily here in America, man. Here it is. You've been watching for a nation that could not save you, man. You've been hoping in vain for help that's not going to come. And if it comes, read Sirach chapter 12. He's looking, if he comes to help thee, he's looking a way to undermine thee, man. You know?
Yep, because you go into Lamentations, this is after Babylon took down the southern kingdom. So, you know, you think about where Jacob always runs to, he loves running to Egypt, you know? So he's looking out for Egypt to help him out, bail him out, but they don't get no help, you know? And going to how this whole thing sets up is playing again on root.
Yep. Verse 19, it says, "Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven."
That's a characteristic of Esau. He's swifter than the eagles of heaven. You know, that's his MO. You know,
Deuteronomy 28 tells you
the
that.
eagle. Yep.
I shall send a nation against thee,
Fierce.
you know, swift as the eagle. His tongue thou shalt not understand. You know, roughly paraphrasing.
That's Esau. That's his national bird, from Hitler to America. You know, and even all the way back to the Greeks. Even the Greeks, they hit. You know, because back then they, you know, the armies they would carry their just like well, now they don't do that because there's not tactical warfare anymore or like modern warfare or like they, you know, where they would march. But back then they would carry that staff with the eagle on it, and they would carry it on to the Romans. To this day, even the Germans, the Nazis did it. America, you know, they all use the symbolism of the eagle, which is a filthy bird, you know, but it flies the highest. You know, got keen eyesight. It's a predator, a bird of prey. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a majestic bird, of course, but you know, it's just unclean. You know, it's used to categorize, eat them. You know.
It says, "Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness." And this is when you think about this in modern terms, man. This is your culture that Esau has given you, man.
It's a trap.
Your rap culture, your
Nigga culture, black culture,
your black culture, you know, Latino culture, whatever the hell you want to call it, man. Partying, clubbing, all that shit, man. It's been a laid out trap for you, man. Waiting to entrap you. Okay, to destroy you as a people, man. This is why Hosea 4:6 tells us that we are destroyed for lack of knowledge, you know, because we went away from the Heavenly Father, man. We went away from our customs and who we were, our way of living, and we chose to put on the way of living of our persecutors.
The way of the flesh.
Yep.
Instead of serving the Lord, our people would rather serve their own selves. And another reason why a characteristic of the eagle is because what the eagle he's the highest flying bird, and it will just come and swoop down, whoop, and take you away. That's what Esau's about to do. He letting you think it's all good, and then he gonna swoop down on you with them big old talons, grab you up, and it's over. You know, swiftly. And that's why it says swiftly, right? They use the word swiftly, so that's how Esau about to roll on you, man. Swiftly, out of nowhere, you gonna come on your head. Just hey, he set up for a person. The Lord made a perfect, antagonist of the story, man. And he been playing the good guy the whole movie, and now he about to let his claws out, his talons out, and he gonna let you know that's the eagle, Go ahead.
Going back down now to verse 21, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. You got to remember, during this time period, like your brother mentioned, Jake just went into the southern kingdom just went into captivity under the Babylonians, and what was Esau doing? Saying, raise it, raise it. Okay, further in the affliction.
Yeah, and they were the ones stealing shit, burning shit down. The Babylonians, they took things. The Edomites were the ones that burned the temple down. That's what they were saying, raise it, which means burn it down. Raise it. They mean they was the ones that burned it down. The Babylonians, they took a lot of the things because that's how they were able to bring them back. When who was Darius, or it was either Cyrus or Darius, they allowed us to rebuild the temple and bring back the goods that they had took from the temple. So it was the Edomites burning that shit down. Cause that hatred, because they had us in slavery. Now they getting down, because King David was putting a foot up their ass, and then they finally seen it, us going down, so they took advantage of that. Hell yeah. Hey, there's an Israelite over there. They was working with them, which were the Babylonians, which were Assyrians, so they was working with them, but they were the ones going in there and burning shit down. Which I'm sure the Babylonians burned things down, but specifically the temple, it was the Edomites did that. Dirty devils. They not just once, they did it twice during the Greek Empire. When they finally came into power, they did it again. We was able to rebuild the temple. They did it again, and now they're trying to do it a third time, but now there's not a physical temple for them to burn down.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 43 says, Then said he unto the king, Remember thy vow, which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou camest to thy kingdom, and to send away all the vessels that were taken away out of Jerusalem, which Cyrus set apart when he vowed to destroy Babylon, and to send them again thither. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees. Going to the southern kingdom, was besieged by Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians. You read right here in First Ezra 4 chapter, it identifies, it puts Esau, Edom on the scene as them that sanctum, as them that burnt down the temple.
I got something real quick. I'm going to the eagle. There was they say it was a myth, but it was a letter that one of the founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, wrote to his daughter about how he didn't want the bald eagle to be the nation's bird, because he read it here. He says, for my own part, I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen the representative of our country. He is a bird of a bad moral character. It says he does not get his living honestly. You may have seen him perched on some dead tree near the river, where too lazy to fish for himself, he watches the labor of the fishing hawk, which hawks are much more better hunters. It says, and when that diligent bird has at the length taken a fish and is bearing it to his nest for the support of his mate and young ones, the bald eagle pursues him and takes it from him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the eagle is the top predator in the sky. Yeah, the hawks are quicker, but the hawks are quicker. It's falcons more specifically, which is a type of hawk. But the eagle will come and take his shit and kill him. The eagles are huge. The biggest bird is an eagle, not the bald eagle, but I'm talking about like 6-7 foot wingspan, bigger than you.
Not goats.
Yeah, they'll pick up
monkeys, snatch monkeys out of the tree and shit.
Yeah, exactly. them claws, man, them talons. And that's Esau for you though. And he about to come down with that great wrath shit. And that's how the eagle does. He come down with great wrath, swoop, swoop. Even salmon, you gotta watch the shit in Alaska, man, because that's where bald eagles are heavy. I know you can see some out here, throughout America, but not like, you go to Alaska, that's a common sight. You go out there, man, them motherfuckers pulling salmon out of 3-foot waters with them big old talons, man. Pull them up, big ass salmon. Take that motherfucker up, drop it, and then they come back down for it. But that's the nature of Edom, no mercy, So it's a perfect. Not only is he dirty like the eagle, but he's ruthless like the eagle, and he dominates Hey, he the prince of the air, as the scripture say. Go ahead.
I got a precept to go with that article real quick. John 10:10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. So that's why Yahushua said, no man can pluck these men out of my hand. So you're not going to get the elect, you know. Just want to bring that point up.
Jeremiah 49:7 concerning Edom. Thus said the Lord of hosts, his wisdom no more in Teman. That's just talking concerning the Germans. His counsel perished from the prudent. Is their wisdom vanished? All right, because the calamity and the destruction that's coming upon Esau through his wisdom, he will not be able to escape it. All right, no amount of technology. All right, no amount of counsel, okay, that he can take is going to be able to deliver him from what the Most High is about to bring upon him. So that's why it's asking that question, you know.
Yeah, he's the real can't get right. What was that in the movie Life? Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. He's the real can't get right. It don't matter. Look, he took on the law of the land, or he took on the laws of the scriptures. It don't matter what you give him. He was literally created for the day of evil. He ain't gonna change. That's why you Jake's out there, man, that were trying to defend Edom. It's a waste of time because he can't. He can't. If you see a good so-called white man, he's an Israelite. There's no such thing as a good Edomite, man. Or not. There's no such thing as good people anyway. But there's no such thing as a empathetic or sympathetic Edomite, man. And if he's truly Edomite, he got an alternate or alternative agenda. He's not really being nice to you because he wants to be nice to you. He got something in the back burner waiting for your ass, or he do it unwillingly, as the scriptures say. But there's something that there's another goal that he wants to get to. You know, Jake could do something nice, so to say, well, not nice because nice means it's idiot, yeah, stupid. So it's something kind, we'll say. Jake could do some kind acts out of his heart, you know. Esau ain't doing it. He doing something kind to you, you gotta, all right, this nigga trying to get something out of me. A true Edomite, he ain't doing nothing for you unless he got an alternative agenda.
Unless your prophet, he's profiting.
Exactly. And once he done with you, he gonna cast you aside.
You brag.
Yep. Like toilet paper. And that's what the Lord's gonna do with Edom. The same thing Edom is doing to us is what the Lord's gonna do to him. Use him and throw him my way. Once, because there's not gonna be a need for evil after a certain point, you know, and that point is coming very soon, you know, because evil, well, in the kingdom of heaven, evil's not gonna reign supreme. They're gonna be in subjection. The evil, the wicked, is gonna be in subjection. They're not gonna be able to go out here and do chemtrails and pass laws for homosexuality and pedophilia and all this shit. No, they're still gonna be evil, but they're gonna be in subjection. They're gonna be in chains, getting their asses whooped. But not only us, but the heathen are gonna be whipping their asses. Because they're gonna realize that, oh, you know what? This nigga here is the problem. That's why his blood's gotta be shed, man. Because even the heathen that had put us in captivity is gonna come to the realization like this nigga is the problem. You know, even though they did this shit, you know, these Hamites and you know, even Japhet, you know, they put us in subjection, but never like Edom. Jesus, this man is going above and beyond. And the Lord said they forwarded our oppression, you know, our affliction. Kind, yep. Go ahead. Whoever had it. You had more on that? Who's reading? You
real quick, it says Jeremiah 49:8. It says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the dun, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him." And as the brother opened up with that photograph with the Yahushua coming back and the blood, all right, so the Lord is going to bring Esau's calamity upon him when he visits him, all right. And I'm going to jump down because there's a lot on this one. Verse 12 says,
hey, this is like, that's what it says, the day of his vengeance. You know, the Lord's coming to bring vengeance upon the heathen. It's mainly, chiefly Edom. The one that's in power. The one that was in power when he was here. and was walked the earth perfectly. Because if it wasn't for Edom, the Jews wouldn't have been able to do the things they did to him. But that's why they delivered them up to the Romans. You know, because all right, well, we know the Romans, they gonna execute that judgment on them. So hey, too bad, so sad. And then what happened after that? The Romans persecuted the believers. All right. Now we know them as Christians, but we know them as the believers, Yahushua Hamashiach. But they have to pay for that, man. And it clearly makes sense that it'd be the man ruling at the end time. It ain't Japhet. The white man ain't Japhet. Okay, that's not even in the scriptures. Japhet would be ruling and get to this pinnacle, all right, that we see today. Niggas going to space and shit. Japhet ain't never been to space, man. Them Polynesians and them Aborigines, ugly motherfuckers in Australia. Them motherfuckers ain't going to space. It's Edom. Started with Sputnik, Russians, Edomites. Then what was the next one? The Apollo missions. All Edomites, man. So we know that the Lord is bringing vengeance upon the greatest enemy to righteousness, which is the wicked. It makes perfect sense, you know. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 49:12, it says, "For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken." All right, and we went into that cup, man. Oppression, slavery, rape, rob, murder. All right, we drunk of that cup because ultimately, all right, in a perfect world, all right, we would have followed the laws and statutes, commandments perfectly. We would never had to go into captivity. Okay, and we would have been up at the top. So those vessels created for honor and glory, all right, they have drunken the cup, as it said, of astonishment. Yeah. All right, you know,
and that's because the Lord put us in these chains of darkness. Because what Hebrews 8 says, finding fault with them.
Yeah.
So hey, we can blame Esau all we want, but Esau didn't start whipping us until we went against the Most High. You know, but it was all part of the story. You know, that's why you have to see the whole picture, man. If you don't see the whole picture, you're not gonna understand why we're going through why would God put us in slavery? You know, niggas would come up with that. Why would God, if there's God, why would he let us go through that? And then the nigga got a black and mild, hitting it black and mild and shit with a 40 ounce. You know, but hey, we drank of that cup, but we deserved it. You know, you lost, just like in modern day terms, you playing the drinking game, nigga, you lost the game, you gotta drink the cup. So hey, we get like what is it, who said it? Was it Micah? I'll bear the indignation of the Lord. So hey, because I have sinned against him. And I think there's a psalm as well that says, I have sinned against thee only, O Lord.
Psalm 51.
Yeah. So hey, we deserve everything we've gotten, but now the Lord has put the spirit on the remnant to come back and repent and beg him to take change the darkness away from us. And he has. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And as soon it's going to be physically manifested. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I got a analogy of Psalms concerning those whose judgments have was not supposed to drink the cup. Roughly paraphrasing, Psalms 42 and 3. It says, "My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually unto me, where is thy power?" So our tears has been meat for us, man. Basically symbolic to us crying so much.
They're saying, cry yourself to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why the Spirit said, y'all shall come back and wipe away all tears.
Yeah.
Captivity.
I'll finish off Jeremiah 49. It says, "For thus said the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken." So we have drunk it, man. All right, even though that wasn't our purpose, but ultimately, like the brother said, we know the bigger picture. Even though the Lord set us up to be blessed, we still drunk that cup, man. Okay, it says, "And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it," because you Edomites have in your mind that things will just be forgiven. Like let's just forget about it. It was in the past. It really doesn't matter. But the Lord said, hey, you gonna surely drink of that same cup, okay? And this is the point right here, verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, because the Lord can swear to none higher than him, okay? It says, I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra, right, one of those chief cities of Edom, all right, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. So the Most High has sworn to himself, all right, that America is going to be completely and utterly destroy every city in Babylon the Great, all right, from coast to coast. And the Most High has sworn to himself, man, all right. That's all I have.
I got this in Psalms 109. Start from the top and read on down. This is Psalms 109 and verse 1. It says, hold not thy peace, O Most High, of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me, that have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. Yeah, see, and that's the thing, man, is that these devils, ultimately, like the brothers were saying, the condition that we were put under was because we went off against the Most High, but these devils, you know, the things that they've done against the Israelites, man, was without cause, man. We didn't go into Edom and do to them what they did to us, okay? It says, for my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer. And they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. Yeah, you see, you Jakes, y'all want to be buddy with the so-called white man, and that's why the scripture says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, man. No matter how much love you want to show towards these white people, man, it does not put off the fact that the Lord will judge them. And that they have to pay, down to the littlest Edomite that you can find, man. The bum on the corner. He was somebody in his past life. He did something to somebody. He said something about the men of the Lord on this side. Okay? It said, set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. Yeah, man. See, so the Lord's going to put over, like I said, it's not going to be a wicked man that's going to be put over him, but it's going to be a righteous judgment that's going to be put over him, man. It's going to be the righteous that are going to be over these devils, man, and we're going to rule with a rod of iron. Okay, they going to think that we wicked. These people are just tearing this apart, man. I got to work 10-hour days.
Nah, nigga, you gonna work from sun up to sundown. We're gonna show you how to oppress, but righteously though. That's the thing. We're not gonna be buck breaking. We're not gonna be banging your wife. We will take your daughters though, but we're not gonna be doing no unrighteous shit. But you will be. You gonna find out what true labor is.
Exactly.
6 verse 7.
Real quick, you don't know the epitome of waking up 3-4 o'clock in the fucking morning, man.
Shit, cause they not. Most nights they not gonna be able to sleep. Maybe at 30 minutes in to wake up. Oh, sun's still not up. Just do that every day except for one time a week. Maybe twice a week, you know, depending on when the Sabbath falls, but it's gonna be hell. You wanna talk about hell? Because Esau was the one that, well, no, it was Jake that pushed that hell doctrine originally, but Esau propagated it. You're gonna find out what hell is. Now, the nukes ain't gonna be nothing compared to that 1,000-year. Yeah. And you working day in and day out, you might die out in the fields just to be born again, just to get chain smacked on you. It's gonna be tough, man. They can't even do it now. They can't even be out there in the field with Jake now. So how they gonna make it in the kingdom? Hey, that's something you're gonna have to figure out. We're gonna put his own words on him. You can't do the time, don't do the crime. And you committed the greatest crimes in the history of humanity, man.
It says verse 7, when he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. And the Lord is getting ready to bring him back down to that base state, and he's going to set up one that is more profitable than he was in that office. You know? It says, let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Yeah, these devils, boy, they're going to be dying left and right. They're going to be getting killed on the job every day. You know, Jake go to work and They tell you every day at work, safety's number one. We want you to leave like you came in. Because JB died out there, man. JB leaving work with a half a leg, you know, all types of shit be going on at J. Well, these devils, man, they gonna be going to work and not even come back.
Hey man, you know
It's gonna be fertilizer.
You know, they used to do Jake and back in slavery, niggas drop dead, hey, pick them up, and they got a big ass hole right there. Throw them in there, hey, keep working, niggas.
That goes all the way back to the Romans. When they would crucify them, what would they do? They would just throw them in the ditch. After they would take them down off the cross and throw them in the ditch, and that's why Joseph of Arimathea, he went to plead unto Pilate to take the body, because that's what they were going to do, and they was going to throw him into a ditch. I mean, it didn't say that in scripture, but you got to go into the Roman history. That's what they would do. Once they would crucify you, they just throw your ass in the ditch. Because what the people that were getting crucified were convicted. You know, that was like modern day. That was a death penalty. You know, you get death penalty. They're gonna have you tortured, and they just toss your ass in the ditch.
Says verse 10, let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. Yeah, so see, I mean, these Edomites, boy, y'all getting ready to go to a terrible state, man. Y'all thought, y'all be looking back at the Great Depression back in the 30s like it was something terrible. Y'all don't even know what's getting ready to happen, man.
You lost some money, you hurt your 18, getting your back whooped. Out there in the sun all day. And that's how you know the whipping's gonna be even worse for Edom. He gonna be out there in the sun all day, sunburned, crispy as hell. And then a big ass head might gonna come and
his children on those streets begging for food.
Split his back open.
like a Jacob.
Split back, split. As soon as that whip hit your back, it's gonna split it.
Yeah.
See the white meat. Says, let the executioner catch all that he had, and let the stranger spoil his labor. And that executioner starts with Yahushua, man. Because Yahushua is getting ready to take, like it says, he was seen with many crowns upon his head, man. He's getting ready to take his crown from him. You know? And everything else is going to be his. What does the scripture say? They shall be given unto us for possession. Roughly paraphrasing. I forget how exactly it's worded, but
The song.
That's
me.
Oh yeah.
And you just saw what 147 or 49.
Yeah, 49 bomb they cheat with nobles.
And that's gonna begin with the people that live the best. Because the average Edomite, he gonna die. The best niggas living the best lives right now, living the best life. Well, they gonna be the first slaves, and their first job is gonna be beating up the dead bodies, and that's gonna be a tough job. Nigga that never worked a day in his life, gotta go clean up dead bodies. You ever been around a dead body that been sitting for a while? That shit is horrible stench. Okay,
And it's full of gas.
Yeah, you gonna. Ain't gonna be no mask, no N95 mask, alright? Ain't gonna be none of that. No gloves, no what they call them, personal protection.
PPE.
Yeah, PPE, no personal protection equipment. You're gonna be out there digging holes and burying people. And you ain't never lifted a shovel in your life, and you gonna have to dig holes and pick up dead bodies.
Hey, like you say, them intestines be full of gas and bloated.
Niggas gonna be blown up next to you. Nigga might pop next to you. You dragging them to the hole.
hey, I've been watching a couple videos, Joe Rogan talking about people eating bear meat. And they were talking about different types of bear meat that there is, like you can tell what their diet was. And one of the ones that they were talking about was eating a bear that had been eating rotten meat. And the one dude that he was talking to was like, yeah, he's like, I ate one of them bears like that. He's like, the meat was orange. He said, it tasted good to me though.
Yeah, because he was Edomite.
He said he found the bear eating a rotten whale carcass.
Oh, that's must have been Alaska or some shit.
Yeah, it was up in Alaska.
Yeah.
But these devils, man, they getting ready to I mean, what else they gonna be eating?
They gonna be eating slop. We gonna treat them like slaves. We gonna give them some slop just like they did us. Some grits, because that's where you get grits from, and you know that was slave food. Grits, pig intestines, all that shit. You know all that shit that Jake like to eat. Soul food. That's slave food. Shit.
That's how famished they're gonna be.
Yeah, chillin', there you go.
Shit.
They're gonna be eating each other. Gnawing on the nigga's leg.
And
They're gonna get their asses whooped for it.
Yeah, cause they gonna have to figure it out, man. It's gonna be, and think about it, some niggas that ain't worked days, never had a job, never did manual labor, they gonna have to do this. And they gonna be forced to do it.
Says verse 11, let the executioner catch all that he had, and let the stranger spoil his labor. You know, so everything that he's working for, is someone else is gonna reap the benefits of it.
He's reaping it for us.
Yep.
All that, everything that Esau's hoarding, whether it be gold, silver, wine, women, all that's gonna be for us, man. Cause we gonna take it. Cause when the Lord tells us to do when we conquer nations, kill everybody off. But in this case, we're not gonna kill everybody off because we need slaves. Well, we're gonna take the spoils of war, which is the booty. Part of that is the booty, which means spoils. But hey, today booty, you know what booty is. We ain't gotta go into it. But you know, so yeah, like where's the famous yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 12, let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. So there ain't gonna be, the scriptures say, you know, show no mercy unto him that has shown no mercy, man. Like brothers mentioned earlier, this damn devil ain't show no mercy to nobody, even to this very day.
He don't show mercy to his own people.
Right.
But he expect us, our people want us to show him mercy, but he don't show mercy to his own people. Come on, man.
And it says, neither let there be any favor, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. You ain't gonna see no commercial in the kingdom of heaven of showing for 5 cents a day you can help feed this Edomite child. Ain't gonna be none of that shit, man. Even Moab ain't gonna have that shit. Ain't nobody gonna be producing that shit. I mean, you know, we speaking facetiously, you know, it ain't gonna be no, yeah, I mean, we don't know how the kingdom of heaven it is, but if we do have TV, that damn sure ain't gonna be no commercials talking about help feed the Edomite child today by donating 50 shekels. You know, ain't gonna be none of that shit, man. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for the little kids on the side of the road begging for bread. Yes.
Just to add on to what you said, just how don't nobody want to be around Jake, you know, we get looked down upon that state of despise, right? Well, that same curse that's on us is getting ready to be on Esau. So the nations are going to look down on you as the new nigga. You know, you're going
Especially Amalek.
Yeah, you're going to take on a role of what it is to be a nigga, bro. You know,
Right.
Look down upon, don't want to be around. You know.
Say verse 13, let his posterity be cut off, his seed, you know, his children. They gonna be cut off, man. They're not gonna be allowed to build anything, to have a Black Wall Street. They ain't gonna have none of that, man.
Red Wall Street.
Yeah. And eventually they will be cut off completely, man. They will be 118, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna get, because Jake always comes up in Esau society. It's the same way the Romans fell. Jake got in there. Look, no Edomite's gonna be around the elect. Unless you're gonna get your ass whipped or something, we gonna make sport of you. But you're not gonna be in the government. You're not gonna somehow slither your way in there. Nah, you're gonna be out there in the fields until you get obliterated. So your people are no longer in existence. You're not coming to do nothing. You ain't got nothing to do with righteousness. So we gotta keep you far away. Right? We're going to the camp. So what light got to do with darkness, man? So keep you far from us. Yeah. It's gonna be a rare sight to see Edomite in the kingdom, bro. I'm tired of these niggas now. What, I want to see them in the kingdom? Shit. Maybe they put a foot up their ass and send them flying to the other side of the earth or something. But shit, man, I don't want to see you devils anymore, man. We sick of you now. Shit. So how much more the Lord?
It says I'll read verse 13 again. It says, let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their
Posterity,
name,
meaning his seed, his lineage. Go ahead.
and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. You know, and that's what's gonna happen, man. That's gonna be the end of Esau.
And
As we know it.
It's gonna be like, is this the man? And then it's gonna get to that. Damn, there was people ruling over the Israelites, and it was a pale devil that couldn't even stand out in the sun. Decrepit, the basis of man. He ruled the earth for thousands of years. About 1,000 years, because of you combine the Greeks, the Romans, and today with the rebirth of the beast, it's close to 1,000 years, roughly, give or take a few years, you know. It's gonna be far-fetched idea, like damn, because the way the kingdom's gonna be, it's gonna be so magnificent. It'd be like the wicked ruled at one point. It's gonna be a far-fetched idea because everybody's gonna be rejoicing. Because right now everybody's mourning, so it's gonna be hard. You know, the only ones that are really truly gonna understand it are the ones that get to live through the end of this world. We don't, Lord's will, we don't part of that number. We the only ones that are really gonna know. If you're born in the kingdom, yeah, you might get your memory back, but you're not gonna be translated to the kingdom, so you're not gonna be able. It's levels to this thing, man. So we the only ones really that's gonna be able to be like, yeah. I remember when we was sitting in the crib, yeah, doing this and doing that and having to pay bills. It's gonna be far fetched. That's not even gonna be a realistic idea 1,000 years into the kingdom, man. It's like, damn, what? We had to pay bills under this devil, this nigga out there. You know, because I don't want to, me personally, I don't want Esau nowhere near my food. So he gonna be doing menial building shit, you know, shit that I don't eat. I don't want him nowhere near my food. He gonna be making big rocks to little rocks. So maybe some Hamites can build a house for me. I don't want that, because Hamite, you know, there were Hamites that, or was it Hamites? I believe it was Hamites that helped build the temple. You know, they would send the trees from Lebanon. You know, so I don't want Esau near none of my shit, man, personally. But you know, unless it's you know his women, good looking women, you know, in the palace scrubbing the floors and shit with a toothbrush, maybe scrubbing them in between my toes or something. But for the majority of Edom, man, we don't want to see. We've had enough of you, man. You know, but we know that the Lord is gonna. You're not getting off that easy, man. You gonna suffer. Just like you got to rule over us for roughly 1,000 years, guess what? Your ass about to be ruled over harshly, but righteously for 1,000 years. Then we're gonna get rid of you. There's no more use for you. Because like the scriptures say, the Lord created all things, even the wicked, for the day of evil. Well, guess what? The day of evil is quickly approaching. And once that's over, we put you to work, there's not gonna be no need for the wicked no more. Because it's gonna be peace forever. This all been a story, and you know how you watch the Disney fairy tales or Looney Tunes, whatever, it always says happily ever after at the end, right? Well, we don't need, if it's happily ever after, we don't need no more antagonists. We don't need no more opposition. We don't need no more wicked. You have served your purpose just like toilet paper. Now it's time to flush you down the drain.
Job chapter 18, verse 16. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people.
Hey, it's that song is a Benjamin style. Chase him. I'm gonna chase him out. Damn, how's it go? I'm gonna chase the devil. I'm gonna chase him off the earth.
Oh yeah, I'm not speaking about it.
Yeah, I forgot how it's called, but yeah, go ahead though.
Job 18 and 19. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling.
No nephews? Yeah, okay,
Brother Speed going to his posterity, you know, for the male, bring the male carries the seed, you know.
Yep.
They that come after him should be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted.
Hey, the side note real quick, that's you know, just speculating. That's probably what happened to Dan. It got to a point where they were just having daughters. So, you know, they're just speculating. You know, they just kept having daughters. All the Danites kept having daughters. They had no man to propagate that tribe anymore. We'll go ahead.
Yeah, kind of like I said, they that come after him should be astonished at his day. Like you're going into, like, if you don't live through the transition, you know, like bringing up Esau, Edom after those 1,000 years, and he's permanently, you know, destroyed after he's gone. You know, they're gonna be astonished. Like we're going into like, hey, damn, you know, it's Esau, Edom. Hey, Israel was on the low level. You know, we was being ruled over by the wicked. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, you know, our children, all the way down that line. You know, they're gonna be astonished to hear that, because the type of status that we gonna have in the kingdom, man. You know, in that day.
Yeah, shit, I'm gonna have an Edomite zoo. I'm gonna have Edomites like they have monkeys and shit at the zoo. I'm gonna have Edomites. You come to my plantation, you're gonna see some zoo animals. You know, some monkeys.
That's how it was in the
Faces and they're gonna go back to the natural state. Brain among the bushes, you know, cave, the Neanderthals as they call it, you know. And then you know, one of my sons, oh man, let me take you to the zoo real quick. See Esau in his natural habitat, and have him in an 18 by 18 box, you know, just like they do animals today. Because Esau, man, he's imprisoned life itself from the Israelites to the other nations to the sea animal to regular animals. He got zoos, aquariums, and hoods, you know, and they do documentaries, so you don't even have to visit the hood. You can just watch it on Netflix. Or you think we're gonna do everything to you but double, and it's gonna be better and righteousness, you know. You think zoos are gonna stop? No, you're gonna be the zoo animals. You're gonna be the circus, you know, because that's you watch shit they do to animals in the circus, man. That shit is wicked. Well, you gonna be the new zoo animals, circus animals, jumping through fire hoops. They got tigers jumping through hoops on fire, whipping the lions and shit. Well, that's what we're gonna do, you punk ass, man. With a big old hand mic. He gonna swing the whip and then
Going back to Psalms 109:14, it says, "Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before Yahweh continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth." Going back to the precept the brother just read, man. There ain't gonna be no more remembrance of Esau, man. It's gonna be like a dream that vanishes away, like it says in Job, man. You wake up and after 10 minutes, if it wasn't really,
you forget about it.
yeah, you forget about it, man. It says, verse 16, and this is all in the here. It says, "Because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he may even slay the broken in heart," man. And so these things are going to come upon Esau. Why? Because he remembered not to show mercy. Okay, because he persecuted the poor and needy, man, which are who? The Israelites. Okay, and more specifically the elect. All right, the apple of the Lord's eye, man.
Ooh, spirit.
Right.
I was going to say earlier when the brother read Zechariah. All right, what do you guys say about it? Yeah, because it gets, you know, a little more understanding on the apple of his eye. The word apple in Zechariah 2:8. It says that the apple is Baba, and it says the apple, pupil of the eye, gate. All right, and then you go to of his eye, so the gate, keep in mind the gate, and then you go to eye, it says eye, physical eye, as showing mental qualities of mental and spiritual faculties, spring fountain. So the gate, or the opening of what, the physical or mental spiritual faculties, right, which is pretty much the image of the Lord, is the Israelites. So you touch the apple of his eye, is meaning you messing with who the Lord set up to be a representative of him on the planet. Because the Lord has his chosen people, and that's who he chose to represent him. So you fuck with those people, you fucking with the apple of his eye, meaning the gate or the opening, because what, everybody served the Most High through the Israelites. All the nations are gonna come to us to serve the Lord. So you touch the apple of his eye, meaning you going into the opening. You messing with the image of the Lord. Which first and foremost Yahweh, which is the image of the Most High. But then the Lord has the chosen people, which Yahweh came out of. So just go to a deeper understanding of that. And the word for his eye in Zechariah 2:8 was ayan. Well, what verse was that though? Let me see if it was the same words there.
What do you mean?
Well, what verse are you reading here?
Psalms 109:16 doesn't say anything about apple of the eye.
I think you said.
No, that's
Yeah,
not.
he just
Oh,
mentioned-
You just quoted it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
the spirit, yeah, because I was holding it though. Yeah, it's the spirit, yeah, okay. So the apple of his eye is the gate to the image, or let's say to the I don't want to butcher it. It said so eye means gate pretty much, You know, because they even say that eyes are the windows of the soul, right? And that's a common saying. People like to say, yeah, the entrance of the soul. So gate is the entrance, right? And then what was the other word?
The eye.
The eye, yeah, it says as showing mental qualities of mental and spiritual faculties. You know, so the Lord, how you gonna get to the Lord is through His people, the people He chose. Because there, that's why He gave them laws to show you what the Lord is about. The only way, as far outside of the nation of Israel, the only way you're gonna know about the Lord is through His people. You know, go ahead, though.
I was saying, go ahead.
I have some, I don't know if I better close out, but there's a Proverbs 6, and I read 30 and 31. Proverbs 6 verse 30 says, men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. You know, the point's 31, but you know, the point is that's logical. You know, as we talk about living a beggar's life, you know, it's reasonable. You know, men, you know, having to steal to take care of himself. Sometimes, you know, you get away with it.
Out of necessity.
Out of necessity. You know,
That's why you're supposed to leave for the poor. You're supposed to leave, yeah, which Esau does contrary. You know, he'll arrest you. But as a matter of fact, he'll let the whole field rot, and arrest you for picking some shit that he gonna let rot anyway. But that's why, you know, it's in according to the law, which was given to the Israelites. You know, you're supposed to leave things for the poor. You know, even though that's your land, that's your fruit, you labored for it, but you're not gonna pick all of it. You're supposed to leave some for the poor, which is that. And if you don't, then it gets to this point where the man's so desperate he gotta start robbing. You know, but,
Yeah, that's what kept order
mm-hmm.
in the city, man. You know.
those checks and balances. That's what it was about. But Proverbs 6:31. But the point says, but if he be found.
Real quick, Baba Shah, that's why El talk about this out one time. He said that's why Esau gives Jake food stamps.
Yeah.
That's his method of it.
And exactly, to keep the order. Because if Jake didn't have food stamps,
They
they'd
would steal.
be stealing.
That's that Revelation 11.
Exactly. That's not because he care about you.
Yeah. But and what does he give you with those food stamps? Government cheese, the cheap, you know, poison, you know.
It don't even say cheese on the wrapper. It just says American slices.
Yeah. Well, I just seen a video earlier. That's why they don't call it cheese. They say Kraft. It say Kraft cheese because literally they can't call it just cheese because it only has a certain percentage of cheese in
Yeah,
it.
that's the chemicals.
Yeah.
The ones that's wrapped
That's why it don't melt.
single plastic.
Yeah.
Those are chemicals.
That
man.
shit don't melt.
Yeah, but that's why Esau gave you food stamps, saying that he care about you. Is to keep the order in society so you don't have so much petty theft and stealing going on.
And that's about to come to an end real soon. With the SNAP benefits and all that, that's coming to an end, man. So Esau, hey, he about to show his horns. Yeah.
That's that Revelation 12 and 12 that show you that he's done with the order. You know, prophecy got to be fulfilled. So it's time that the Lord turned these spirits up. That's Esau Edom, you know, pulling back those benefits.
Yeah, because that's that time where we're set to be nurtured. It's in the same chapter, Revelation 4. The place prepared, you know, and now we're not staying up on it.
Because the real welfare of the earth is the elect. The scripture tell you that. Those that are walking in wisdom, man. That's the true welfare. That's what benefits. Because what welfare is a benefit. The real welfare benefit is the elect, man. You know, and people look at us like we crazy, but we really doing this so you can rejoice very soon, man. You might have to go just like we gonna go through tribulation to enter the kingdom, but we doing this first and foremost because the Lord said to. But we doing this for our people, and then ultimately because we want to see peace, man. We want to see righteousness reign supreme on this earth, man. We tired of opening the door. There's a fucking truck spraying for mosquitoes, but then there's still fucking mosquitoes. There's a, dope dealer up the block. Man, we sick of this shit, man. Esau pulling you over because your tag is expired. Your window tint's a little too dark. You gotta go to the grocery store and eat GMO food. But you a health expert or a vegan and you eating all this poison. Come on, man. We sick of this shit. And if you're not sick of it, then you're gonna die with this world, man. Go ahead, though, brother.
Yeah. Proverbs 6 verse 31, so going into a thief. All right, so Proverbs 6 verse 31, it says, but if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. Mm-hmm. And that's why it says in Job 20th chapter, says, according to his substance, that a restitution be. So,
and that's why, real quick, that's why Jake has become so great at stealing. because it's in their nature to know that if they get caught, they gotta restore it sevenfold. It's in them to the I can't get caught. Because there's repercussions to it, not because the Esau tells you, because they don't give a shit about what the law is. It's in them. It's in them to know that it's wrong. So they don't want to get caught, you know? And it all goes back to the law of Yahweh Shem outside now. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so going back to what Esau stole, it says sevenfold. I mean, you're gonna get back everything, man, plus interest.
And Esau's getting caught red-handed. He getting caught with a bag in his hand. He's leaving the bank, and the police is outside waiting on his ass. Yeah, go ahead, let him steal what he wants, and let him take it off. But they outside waiting on him. They already got the exit plan. This nigga dug a tunnel. Took him 3 years to dig a tunnel under the vault, and they just waiting on the other side of the tunnel.
Because the only way you can get out is this one way, and that one way is prophecy.
And it's a trap.
Yep.
The Lord set Esau up for a trap, man.
He said like a snare for the.
Yep.
That's the spirit.
Like he's fall into it. He that diggeth the pit shall fall therein. So Esau think he doing all this to trap us up. Really, is for his own demise. Yeah, he gonna take 2/3 with him. They're gonna fall in the pit with him, but he gonna fall there in there with him. You know. Go ahead.
I got something for you, back you brothers up. In the spirit, Job 18:8, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon the snare. Read this in the NLT, right? It says, the wicked walk in a net, they fall into a pit, right? That net, okay, you can use that right now as pretty much the prophecies, man. Esau is snared, he's caught in the net by the prophecies being fulfilled. The Lord said he would set us in order before his eyes. All right, the Lord said that these nations that he isn't confederate with will come up against him. All right, so these are all things that has Esau Edom trapped up, man. It says a trap grabs them by the heel, a snare holds them tight. All right, jump down to verse 11.
Yeah, it's everything that the prophecies is everything the Lord's having Esau do. He's gonna get caught up in all of that. The missiles, main one, you know. He think he got power in the world dominance because of those missiles. Really, that's his downfall. You know, that's what There's never been weapons of mass destruction. That was never a thing until Edom came into power, and more specifically, Babylon the Great. Because prior to that, they didn't have atomic bombs. You know. And if you can't see that, then you ain't got the spirit of the Lord on you. There's a reason why the first people to use atomic warfare was America, Babylon the Great, and now they on the decline now though. That was what 40s. In the 40s, that was what 80 years ago, 85 years ago roughly, something like that. Oh, 80 years, yeah, about 80 years ago. So hey, that's prophecy. And now it's a snare unto them, because now other Edomites, as we read throughout the scriptures, are bucking up against other Edomites, and that's always Esau's downfall, bro. He can never stand as a people, bro. He can't stand as people, but as we come back together, as the 12 tribes of Israel come back together, the more Esau get divided, and that's why they're gonna end up fighting each other, as they have before. Okay?
Yep. Verse 11 and verse 12, and that's it. It says, terrors surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. Hunger depletes their strength, and it's the point, and calamity waits for them to stumble. And calamity waits for them to stumble. All right, so these calamities, just like the brother's going into, man, these prophecies, brothers, getting ready to take Esau by the heel. And the ultimate prophecy is Jacob, fulfilling the 2nd Ezra 6th chapter. Jacob, pulling that man down out of power, man. Being Yahushua being set up on top. All right, and the destruction of all these heathen nations, man. You see?
Anybody got anything else?
Hey, Lord willing, this lesson, was edifying to you, Akim and Akwakim. I want to give all honors and infinite praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have taught us this truth and who rule well, peace and safety. Salutations. It's GmsTampa. Shalom.
Shalom.